Hello everybody, welcome back to PPJ. My name is Joel and I'm with
Prima
and
Pumla,
the very beautiful ladies, and in the back we've got
Alan.
Okay. Can you get a shot of Alan's mustache?
already they are not seeing you. Then even
I don't understand. Then that's how he is.
you're lacking.
I put my mic is set for you to be close to me, so
Okay,
I don't have
Alan.
He's
to
a
shout.
producer.
Okay, Alan.
Cheers.
Alan Busby.
Yeah.
All right, friends. It's been a while since we were together. This is an exciting time for us to meet and talk. But before we get into our discussion for today, which is about social media, have you been, Prima?
Alive? Well,
Alive?
I had a huge work thing this week. Like a huge conference that was, you're the one organizing.
Yeah.
Like I've been working on it the entire year. Now
Really?
the entire year. Like
It's one of those.
It's one of those where you think about it from beginning, like you've
Is
gone
it a
through
periodic
the
thing,
entire-
like an annual
It was the
thing?
first one.
Okay.
It was the first one, so it was
wow.
real pressure. Yeah, but it's done. I'm going on leave tomorrow. Like I was waiting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, good for you.
My
How
leave
long?
actually starts today. 2 weeks.
Are you taking
2 weeks?
So
Yeah.
that's 10 working days.
Yes.
So you're going to
Just
Monaco? Where are you going? Oh,
nice.
Cologne.
Somewhere
Oh, nice.
Somewhere nice.
With your husband.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So Pumla, you like love meanwhile. No man, she's taking us. Yeah.
Anyway, I think she's excited because I think some of us also saw someone on holiday.
You guys.
Someone was on holiday.
She told us, post
and
your people.
stepping on our
Post your people and you won't
Hey,
die.
Can you put some
Yeah.
footage? This is where I put the footage of. Anyway, hi Pumla.
Hi.
Have you been?
I've been great, actually. I've been good. My son went back to school. So I have a son who turned 15.
Oh,
And I
wow.
realized that only 3 years left to adulthood.
Imagine.
We're gonna arrest you.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
So
tell
he's in
him, that
S3?
He's in S2.
S2.
Yeah.
He's those Kampala parents people.
No. You know he's a boy, so he turns in September.
Oh, it's the
So he
year.
turns-
Okay.
He turns in the last quarter
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. But you know
that.
Kampala parents, what are those guys?
I'm a Kampala parents kid, and yet
Yeah,
I'm younger.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm
For us, all the
younger.
old people in our class
That's
were
what
like,
that's what everybody around us is. I didn't realize that until I started to look like when age became important.
Yeah.
I realized, now they are turning much earlier
Yes.
than me, than
Yes,
us.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's true.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if it's, so I feel like my kid being away in boarding school I live a life now of almost zero accountability.
Yeah.
I live a life when I'm just there. Like
Yeah.
I'm just there because it's me and my son. That's how it's been for the last
Is it a good
15
thing?
years.
Oh, but
Yeah, so it's great. So when he comes now, I literally feel like that long distance husband who has come back home, yet we were okay in
Yeah.
harmony while he was away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of struggle.
Prima,
You're
saying, yeah.
kidding.
My
Big.
kid in the house. Yeah.
You're kidding. Not
like-
I know long distance love so well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What do you struggle with?
Keeping up. Now, like, I sleep really early and I'm a really
Okay.
light sleeper.
Okay.
He stays up playing video games.
Yeah.
So I stay awake. And then I have to be
At work.
at work by 7 a.m. That means leaving my home by 6:15.
Yeah.
That means I'm in bed by 9 p.m.
Yeah.
He's still on games at midnight. So now there's like a whole destabilization. And then I know I've put my things in the fridge, which I planned to eat when I wake up and I ate them at midnight.
Finished them. Yeah.
Yeah, he has finished. He has combed through my things. So we have that dance that we
Says
do now
the
in the
mother.
house.
Yeah.
So yeah, now when I take him back to school, I'm like, bye, I love you, son.
But see ya.
See you on video.
I know, right?
I can't wait to miss you.
I can't wait to miss you. Yeah, it's like a whole dynamic that I don't know if people tell you about.
Yeah.
And maybe not, because this is not a dynamic I think most Africans have.
'Cause they have
Because
many
they have
children.
other children. And they have maybe partners who are filling those gaps. Now for
Yeah.
me, I'm in my house by myself. I am me. I don't have the house help that comes in the house. My housekeeper has her quarters outside the house.
Okay.
And when I'm in the house, he doesn't eat. We don't mix.
Yeah.
We don't cross paths.
Yeah.
So there's like a whole vibe there that
Interesting.
I'm working through.
Yeah.
You had, it must be a big house. We don't cross paths.
No.
I have a question for you about Teja. Is he on social media?
Does
does he have an
WhatsApp
account?
count?
No,
It's
no,
on
no. I mean like
WhatsApp.
Facebook,
No,
whatnot.
no.
But he doesn't want to be.
Not that
or
I
you've said
know
you
of.
don't.
I don't know. I can't monitor. I used to monitor his
You don't know?
social media. Well, he's a teenager. You can't know everything. My mom thought she knew shit about me, and I used to hear her answering questions when she was asked, and I'll just laugh.
So there's like no
Like you
rule.
have no idea.
Yeah, you have no idea what I'm doing,
Yeah.
baby. You have no idea.
You
Baby.
said to your mom, baby.
In my head, I'm like, baby
You're
girl.
traditional mom, baby.
Baby,
Pardon,
I
who is the
have
baby
no
here?
clue. Even now, my mom, when people are having trouble, teenagers, she's like, she wants to give advice like the mom
You're like, you have
who
no
was
idea.
so. I look at the woman. I'm like, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know the teenagers you had in your
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
You have no clue.
You just stand
So
out,
I don't
okay.
know. The one I know is WhatsApp. I used to monitor his online engagement until he turned 13. When he turned 13, we like literally had a
did
conversation.
he get a phone?
At 12, when he was COVID, that time, or he was
2021.
10 years old.
21?
He was 10,
Wow.
10, 11, yeah. So we had to teach,
Yeah.
like I literally had to teach him
How old were you when you got that
cyber
I was
education,
19.
literally. Yeah, I was also an adult when I got
Yeah.
my first one. I think most of us.
Yeah, things change.
Yeah, so
Okay,
yeah.
I was wondering because
But I think he has an Instagram account, but I don't know. I think it's all
Would
his
you
friends
search?
have.
Would you
I would never
look?
search. And he
Why?
leaves his phone at home with me. I'd never look through. I don't know what's in it. I don't care.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like it's an issue
That's
of
his
privacy
space.
and trust. And I feel like if my mom knew the things I was doing as a teenager, my mom would have judged herself so harshly
Yeah.
as a parent. She would judge
There needs
herself
to be
as a
some
failure.
distance.
Yeah, there has to be some distance. You must allow your children. And then as a parent, I am going to be, I cannot hold back. If I knew, I would see something and maybe hold
And
back.
then now parent
And I'm
in that
interpreting it
direction.
different. Remember,
Yeah.
these are different generations.
Yeah.
What is right to them, which is okay with them, might not
a
be
different
have been
time.
okay with me.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to cross those lines.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm giving you guidance.
Yeah.
Take my guidance, do with it as you will. I have brought you up, I have raised you in the ways that, what is that scripture?
Train your child.
I'm
Train
training
your
you
child
in the
way
way
to
that
go.
I
Lord.
would.
And when he grows older,
he shall
will
not depart.
from them.
Yeah.
For
Although
me, that's
sometimes
my-
they
Yeah.
depart.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. If I see things shifting in the way he's acting or behaving, then red flag. But for me, what he's showing
Are there
me is
things you
still
worry
okay.
about? You worry about how he uses like access to the internet.
All the time.
You know, with boys,
I do
worry
all the
about
time, but I'm
porn.
not.
Boys,
Wait,
are,
hold on. Wait, why boys?
boys, porn. Chicks don't really watch
Please,
porn.
please
Oh.
note.
Well, they do, but not
please
so
note,
much.
Even
Not like
his,
boys.
even his bed sheets when he's I'm not done, when he's leaving to go back to
Yeah.
school. I don't want to be exposed
Okay.
to what might have happened on his bed sheets.
Why? Why?
Because why?
That
If-
blue light.
If he's whatevering, if he's like
He's
if
discovering his
jacking
body.
off,
He's changing.
as he should,
changing.
Yeah.
why do I want to see that? You click,
Wow.
and that should be okay
Can
for
you
him
get
to
out
do at,
talking?
this, at an age. So I'm like, if that's what you're doing,
That should be
then
what?
do it. But can you please remove and put them
That
in
should be
focus?
what?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can we?
That should be okay for you to do. He's supposed to get wet dreams at a certain point. He's an adult.
Yeah,
Did you,
yeah.
by the way, Alan, did you get a wet dream at some point?
Of course, I said bro.
Sorry, I want,
Are you
no,
there?
I want to get something. Did you?
I think my adolescence was
Like
weird,
yesterday.
right? Some things I didn't get. I didn't get.
Me neither did I. Like we were told that you will wake up and there'll be some. But
You didn't
there
get
were very
wet
few
dreams.
boys
It
I
was
knew
never
that
in-
came.
I mean,
no,
I
remember
did
waking
get
up and
dreams
something happening.
where things were happening. Eh?
But you didn't want-
I never
You
found
don't
it
wake up and
in
it's
the
like
So what was the wet dream like? Like what are you dream? What is it?
You're
like,
dreaming that you're chowing.
or is it?
they
Yeah.
used to put boys' hands in like warm water. Then they'll be like, I think he's going to start dreaming that he's doing something. And then that's how we used to test guys.
So it was
Be
a
like,
way you would
"Mm."
tease boys.
Like
So you
remember
have
going
like
to
an
sleep and
erotic
then you're
dream.
thinking you wake up with the feeling
Okay.
like I'm turned on, but
Okay.
I don't even remember what
Must
the dream
be
is.
difficult.
You guys, what was going on? I think girls also have
Nothing.
those dreams. You don't
No,
have
nothing.
sexual dreams, but you guys would be reading
Nothing.
those books because the young girls were
And this
reading
one,
those.
Pupil Example, she used to read and she wanted to read therapy.
Should be like the throbbing
You are
man.
just
wanted
The
to
throbbing
throw.
man is going to do something.
She just wanted to throw.
Yeah.
No,
How
but
was
chicks
your
didn't
week?
have.
Was it week? How
All right.
was? What's been happening in your life recently?
Yeah.
I am having one of the toughest but fulfilling weeks of my work life. I had to hit a certain target. And as of today, I am at 85% of it. By Monday, I will have hit 100. So I am very excited.
Exciting.
Thank you. So I decided to show off my legs.
No, but the camera is not seeing them.
No,
It
but
has
you, it's for you, it's
better
for you. I think,
Okay,
just
okay,
some eye
okay.
candy for the ladies.
Maybe George, I don't know.
A little bit.
Blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah,
actually
blah,
put
blah.
your
Okay,
legs
there we go.
up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Are they though?
Don't get personal.
They
Now,
are fantastic.
I like what you were mentioning.
are
I wanted
fantastic.
to talk about social media for a couple of reasons. One about us, but you've started on a topic I was going to go to because my aunt has a nephew who's about 14 in the UK, and in their school they've installed sort of monitoring apps so that when they're in school and the child opens the phone, they get a notification like, "Hey, get off this thing." So the
Who
weird thing
gets the
about it,
notification, sorry?
the parent.
Okay.
So they've linked them up. You as a parent can lock the phone from where you are. You can say, okay, now these are the number of hours the child has been on the thing.
Okay.
But there's also an application that allows you to see if they're seeing any funny stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
However, they were false reports because they would say, oh, alarm, because they're using AI. Like
Yeah.
a child is playing sports and they take a picture of themselves and they go, oh, flash, this is child pornography. So at a certain point, she was saying that what you were talking about, like, I feel like I'm invading his life. Like, why do I know all these things? Because she was saying that who is talking to this person, is talking to that person, and he's aware. So now what they said in the school, kids are now doing stuff offline. Like they'll be like, I have to meet you because this thing is being monitored. Because they feel like their parents are now surveilling them all the time. So that's why I was asking, like, did you ever have that talk with your son to go, these are the ways you have to be responsible online? Because like for me, that never happened because I got online when I was an adult.
You were older.
And my relationship with it, I think, is a bit different. I feel like I go online, but when I speak to him,
The 14-year-old.
he's part of his life is online.
Yeah.
Like he's curating that profile. He's like, how can I not post? It's weird. So I feel like there's a difference between us, and that's what I wanted to discuss from social media. And
But also, maybe just to say on that, we were online before our parents were.
yeah,
There
we
was
were
no
probably
one to give us guidance.
Yeah.
They wouldn't ever be on Facebook. They came on when they were
Yeah.
But
much
imagine
older.
Even the way our
resisted.
parents, what did you resist?
I resisted things like, I came on late for all those things. I came to Facebook later. I came to
Okay,
WhatsApp
okay,
later. Remember, I used to send messages.
What?
I don't even know, I just resisted for a while till I was like, it is what it is.
Do you take selfies?
I
Actually, we're talking. Do you curate? Because you remember you told us people are following you, and you're like, I don't know if they're going to enjoy.
And yet there's
Guys, follow
nothing
Prima. What
to
is it? Prima
follow.
6. We're going to put it here.
There
Prima.
is nothing there.
No, there are
You know,
salutations.
they're like, yeah, and follow me. No, follow nothing.
No, you'll be
You know, they
reposting
were-
us. They'll see what you're reposting our thing.
Yeah, but either way, I'm always
Yeah, you'll be
reposting. I'm ready.
Yeah.
What do you repost?
No, like I reposted.
Other things?
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Thingy.
Like-
Yemanzi. The church trip.
No, but I generally repost.
Oh, you do?
No, like when you
Things
do
like
on your stories, when he does.
Okay,
Yeah. I can repost. Even when we had like a business, I used to.
You had like a business.
Yeah.
Not just a business.
We had a business. Yeah, and I used to, and we were really getting clients online. So I used to post for that.
Wow.
But this general life,
Not really.
it's not too much.
I was looking at some of the numbers of the channel, and last week we were one of the top trending channels in Uganda on social media.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Thank you to the fans.
I know.
We are
Okay.
231,000 views to date. About 180 of them are from the last 4 episodes. So we're starting to become more and more popular, going to different I think it seems not real, but 200,000 people have watched the stuff that we're doing. Does that mean anything to you, or you're just like, it's an abstract thing, it's not real because you haven't met the people?
I think it is real for me. When people say viewers or subscribers, I don't know if it means much to me. I wish I could find a way that I could measure impact or value addition.
You're going to what I was going to ask. So how do you know when like a video has done well, or like something that you've put out and you say, I'm proud of that, I'm happy with it? Like, what are is it the responses that people write?
Usually it's the comment section, and that's why I'm really active in the
Okay.
comment sections. and my DMs, when people speak to me about more than that was a nice top.
Yeah.
Or I like your hair, give me the plug.
That lipstick, wow.
That lipstick, wow.
So good.
Please give me, where do you get it? It's so
Oh,
good.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
When people say more than that, and it's more about, and because again, which
Yeah.
goes back to what is the reason I'm on social media? The reason I'm on social media mostly
Yeah.
is I want to share my lived experiences to be able to help other people. I want people to see my life and another person to say, I can do better. I can be better. I want to journey with people.
Yeah.
So the role for me is impact.
That's the boundary. Like, this is what I'm open
That's
talking
what-
about. What I've
yes,
put
this
and
is-
shown you, that's what we can discuss. But
that's
the rest,
what we can discuss. Yeah, and that is why I highlight certain parts of my life.
More than
others.
Yeah, because we've never seen you at the Central
hey, we've
Bank.
never seen you there
the
submitting
central-
things.
you don't know what I'm
Don't put
doing
your
at
work.
the
Yeah,
central
we've
bank.
never seen it.
Yeah.
Because my life at the central bank is not really, I'm
You
already
can- yeah.
impacting you subconsciously in
Yes,
small ways.
yes.
I'm doing that at a macro level.
Yeah.
But here, when I'm online, I'm on social media, I'm speaking financial literacy.
Yeah.
I'm speaking personal growth.
Yeah.
I'm speaking my motherhood journey. I'm speaking friendships. I'm
Yeah.
speaking family. Those are the parts of myself I highlight. So when someone comes to me and says, I see in a comment section, people are tagging each other. You know, you see a girl,
Yeah.
like I'm here with like friends of mine
Yeah.
and I'm talking about friendship.
Yeah.
Then you see girls tagging each other and they're like, you guys, can we do better as friends?
Yeah.
That's
That's
for me.
real
impact.
I don't count 200,000 subscribers. I count 2 comments.
quality.
Imagine.
Yeah, quality over quantity every time.
I think that yes and no, right? So I think that quantity drives quality.
Say it
So
again.
I feel like
I'm
if
going
there
to
are
put the thing.
200,
Well, yeah,
if
for
you
sure,
get
for sure,
81k
for sure.
views, in those 81k, sure,
There will be more quality.
there's more
For
quality.
sure.
Like
Okay.
there'll be people who will tag each
sure.
other. You understand?
Okay.
So for me, I feel like the more that it goes out,
Yeah.
right, then the more impact you're likely to have, simply because
Definitely.
yeah, simply because
Definitely.
there's been volume. So I would think. I care, but I care more because of impact. And I'll tell you a story. So I don't know what, I think the episode we did about career, right? So we did where the one that Pumla led. Yeah.
Between our 20s and 30s.
Yes, So when we talked about
What we say
career,
to our younger selves.
yeah, what you'd say to your younger self. So after that episode, someone reached out to me on LinkedIn. They reached out to me, let's meet, and we actually met. No, we had a conversation. We had a call. We did a Zoom call.
Social.
No, we had a.
Can you imagine? How can I meet you?
No.
Meet you in real life,
No.
you.
First of all, they reached out to me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I could see what they. It's
a professional
It
setting.
was a professional
LinkedIn,
setting.
Where they came
It was.
to,
They
yeah.
didn't find me on TikTok.
Okay.
And
But
tell me,
Have you ever been on TikTok?
I've never been on TikTok. I don't even know if they find people there.
Is there
Never.
They say a DM in
Is there a DM on TikTok?
Yes.
Allah, is there
Every social
Never.
media thing has a DM.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
I
Yeah.
had never.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
so they found me on LinkedIn, read my I could read their profile. I sent them my email. You know, there's a thing, you give people a few
Yeah,
steps
yeah,
so that
yeah,
when
yeah.
they follow the steps, then they will, you know that they're
Put in the
serious.
effort, yeah.
So I sent them my email and then we had a conversation. And I'll say that is probably the most enriching conversation I've had in the last 3 months.
That's amazing.
Did you talk to us in the last 3 months?
We
Anyway,
talked
it's okay.
about, no, because it was, we were talking about work, like journeys,
Oh,
right?
work,
Like
okay.
career
Yes.
and where she is and what she's thinking. Wait.
You've given us a long blow, but it's fine.
No, you're getting ready. It's fine. Yeah.
Even me, sometimes I'm really, really sorry.
Yeah,
I
no, it's
remember sometime we were out with my girlfriend sometime, and they were like, it was a big group of girls, like I hang out with them a lot. And then I'm telling them, oh, you know, we had a shoot the day before. And I was like, there's just something about Prima and Joe,
Yeah.
about PPJ,
Yeah.
that just feels like I leave that place and I'm like, those are not just the smartest people I know, but they are the smartest that I align with.
Yeah.
Big champ.
They were like,
girlfriends who are
they're like,
oh,
we play
dickheads.
Yeah.
They're like, so what, are we rubbish?
I
Yeah.
know.
So there was like a pause. I was like, no, it's just different.
Yeah. What I
they
meant.
tap a certain part of my brain.
That you all don't
that.
tap.
Even you, there is part of my brain
That you tap.
That you tap.
And you are watching the
You tell them even us we had to fight to enter your circle. Acquaintances.
So good.
So now this enriching
No.
conversation
So
that
I
did not include us.
No,
Go on.
but was driven by the conversation we had had, right? Yeah, no, so that's what that I felt for me was enough for us to keep doing PPJ for, because you really like there's impact that's real, like someone
real.
has watched and is now evaluating. They've been able to identify with you, and they're now evaluating life decisions and looking for some form of, come, let's talk, let's see. And so, but numbers matter, because then that person lives out of Uganda. They probably were able to watch it because someone watched and another watched and another watched, and it got to them. So
And
that's why numbers
that
matter.
career conversation is a WhatsApp group I'm on where somebody, I think, had kind of your exact same story.
Yeah.
So it became, so someone posted it on the group app, the link on the group, and that was like one of the parts that became a topic of discussion and debate and what.
Yeah, that
And
clip,
was
I saw
really-
it a couple of times actually. Like, I don't want to do things that were going to make me feel dumb, and then it raised so many convos. So, but remember that the first thing that we did, it was just us talking.
The first shoot.
Yeah, the first shoot. It
Yeah.
was just us talking, and I think for me, I enjoyed
Yeah,
the vibe.
yeah.
It's easy for me to do. Let's keep doing it. But now I feel a sort of, maybe not responsibility, but I feel like, oh, if there are these people watching, let's say something of substance. Like, I'm always aware, even when I'm here, that there is a general peer watching.
Yeah.
But I wonder for you, like when you're
There's a
speaking,
what?
a general peer.
Wonderful.
Peer.
General
peer.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do you, because
Peer.
when I'm at work, when I'm at work,
Can you please explain, type this word out for Uganda?
No, like peer
peer
pressure.
Peer pressure.
Maybe on PR.
Yeah.
PR. Are you guys? You don't know. And can you type PWR for people? General PR.
Hey, we have a quality audience. They're closed captions.
peer.
Other guys know Jahazi. Jahazi PR.
I know Jahazi
PR. General guys.
When I'm at work, I'm slightly different. And one of the things I've noticed, and why I was asking about Teja, and maybe this is about work.
Joel, have
do
you
you
lost
feel
your general peer? There's a general peer watching.
No,
And so there's responsibility.
Okay, so
First
I don't know if
finish
you've
that
seen
thought.
online when someone posts something, I usually will ask, who are you posting this for? Like you mentioned, you want a certain message to be conveyed. So you show a certain part of yourself. And I think older millennials are usually going, oh, that's fake. The time when people used to do selfies, they'd be like, why are you pretending? And for me, I've thought there's a way to be genuine in your pretending, and there's a way to be disingenuous.
Yeah.
So the genuine pretending that I feel is, it's still you, it's just you've accentuated certain parts because that's the profile you want. But I now know when some of this enters my work life. Because I enter the department and people are like, hey, we're watching PPJ. And I'm like, my lives are now colliding. I don't know if you've experienced that. Like you go to the bank and then someone is like, we're watching you about this. Like, have you felt any of those different spheres of your life colliding? Like people are now like, I didn't know all this about you. Someone in the department you've never talked to.
I usually shut it down really quickly.
I don't want to have this convo.
I shut it down really quickly, yeah. And luckily, I don't know, I feel like I'm in a space at work where the average central banker and again,
Will not find
is
it.
not really
On social
media seeking out these. So I've had problems with interns.
Oh,
I must say, when we get interns or when we hire like people on contract who are a little younger, that's when they come, and then they ask, they can be in a different department, and someone will say, Pumla, we know she works in Bank of Uganda, where does she work? Then someone will say, oh, there's a lady in my department who wants to meet you. Sometimes it happens, and immediately I just shut it down. I say, when I'm in the central bank, my job here is my mandate. It has nothing to do with anything, because if you've ever seen me on social media talking about the mandate of the central bank outside
Completely
the
different.
sphere of the bank, now we are just here, PPJ. No, it's never happened.
Never seen it.
So never discuss with me things you have never seen me.
Pumla, I'd like to
In that
understand.
space.
I'd like to
Yeah.
understand
Me, I just
that.
shut it down.
Why? Do you know why? Because you're doing this. You're doing this with the
Why?
hope
Do
that
you
it
know
will
why?
have impact. Why? Do you know why?
Yeah, I'm going to make it a t-shirt. Why? Do you know why?
Because you're doing this for impact.
Yeah.
So now that is a person who has been impacted. And I've seen very many social media people, right? I've seen someone else who I really like, but she's also really big on, guys, when you find me, and she works in a very public place, she's like, when you find me at work, and she works in a place where she interfaces with, now for you, yours, it's the interns who are coming. But now imagine you worked in, I don't know, like
Clients.
MTN, I don't know what where people
Yeah,
will see
that
you
would be
all the
different,
time. Yeah.
of
Now
course.
she for her she interfaces a lot with people,
yeah.
and she's always like, guys, don't come to me. Like, do not bring. But dear, as the 3,000,
That's how we know you.
Yeah.
That's how we know you. Like when I see
Yeah.
you, I'll be like, oh
Yeah,
my
so,
god.
yeah, now I have the privilege of explaining to you my boundary.
So why?
And
No,
you
no. My
must
question is
respect
why?
it.
Why is it a boundary if you want?
No,
impact?
so this is the boundary. The boundary is not what I said. Let me tell you how people.
Okay.
There are people in the central bank who come to me and say, Pumla, are you at your desk? Do you have 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I want to talk about this issue of
teenager.
career.
Yeah.
Or of a teenager. Or of family. Something
Which
they
are
know
your
I have
areas of-
spoken
yeah.
about. And they had me, so they come to me quoting.
Yeah.
The intern will come and say, oh, I love you, and Pamela, can you take a picture? That's what I'm shutting down.
Okay. Got it.
The one I'm entertaining is someone who literally comes and says, oh, by the way, there's something that Prima said about, you know what, it's okay to just let go of societal norms and expectations.
Yeah.
I'm carrying on that conversation.
Okay.
We are having a
Got it.
conversation.
So like
Got
if it
it.
was in the supermarket
But-
and someone says, hey, just wanted to say hi, I
I'll
like
say
you.
hi. Yeah,
so
say hi all
is
the
it about
time.
is it about the
Yeah.
so work is special, but
Work
then
is,
anywhere else?
work is a boundary.
Okay.
Work, I don't want to mix the two. Honestly, my deputy governor has called me before. I was on a podcast where I was speaking about mama's boys. And yet that same morning, I had been talking about explaining the change of the central bank rates, monetary policy.
Yeah.
In the night, he was in Gulu in a hotel,
And
waiting to
watching
be
you.
checked in. And he saw me on the screen talking about how we don't like mama's boys.
Yeah.
He picked up the phone.
And said,
Is
"How
this
are
you
you?"
I'm seeing?
Pumla, I'm a bit confused.
Yeah. In
I
the morning.
had at 8 a.m. explaining to the general public the mandate of the central bank.
Here I am.
It is 8 p.m., exactly 12 hours later. I'm hearing you talking about mama's boys. What are you talking about? What are you saying?
I contain
What is
multitudes.
this? So I said, yes. For you see, I am attracted. So do you know what I told him point blank? Deputy Governor, monetary policy is only interesting to people who like economics.
Oh, yeah.
It is boring to the layman.
Yeah.
But when people see me that I'm the same person who can speak about
can be pulled
a
into.
multitude and diverse topics
Yeah.
on a platform that has nothing to do with technical work or economics or macroeconomic policy, I am drawing a certain kind of person in. They're now curious. What is she saying on Sanyu FM?
And they'll follow. They'll
And now
actually
they'll
listen
come
to
back.
it.
Oh, that's
They'll
Pumla
come
that I
and
was
like,
what's
yeah.
this?
Yeah.
So they'll turn on the radio.
Yeah.
But if anybody else is speaking about monetary policy, they are changing the channel.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
this is what I explained to him that, I'm just bringing in different kinds of, I was like, oh, okay, that's quite smart.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then he went to, so I'm entertaining a conversation
Can I tell
that
you
has,
about...
there's an end, like that's not ending in, can we take a picture? And by the way, I'll take pictures even on the road, anywhere, but the confines of my employer, where I signed
There are
a
certain
contract,
norms, there's a mandate that you have there. You
I'm
want to
not-
make
I'm
it
not
like, look, I
mixing,
don't want to mix things.
But
up.
just outside there, next to Grand Imperial,
Yeah.
if someone stops me and tells me I can't even get out of their car.
So-
you,
Do you know why-
For you, what's your
For me,
your take? Because you also work in the corporate sector.
Yeah.
You work in a bank, and I'm sure there are people who come and
So
approach you
the
and
culture where I
Medieval
work
job.
is people never come to you directly, but I know they've talked about it around and they're like, oh, are you
Oh, and your position
focused?
is quite
Yeah, so
senior.
there is a culture where they
Yes.
don't, there are meta rules in a place. They don't tell you, don't do this, but it's
There
just
are what rules?
expected of
Men
you.
just want to
Meta
help the general.
rules.
There are meta rules.
Yeah, they are
Alana,
above. They're not written
there are
down.
meta
They're not
rules.
explicit.
I want to help the public in general.
Yeah, I like it for this
Oh,
role.
yes, it's serious.
I
You know
like
what?
it.
Meta,
Let's
meta,
not
meta, meta.
pretend. There are meta
So,
rules there.
how? Let me frame this. Allow me to speak for a few minutes just on my idea of those articles I sent you, which I think were a bit complex. So I told you at some point I was uncomfortable being on camera, only because I think I was still stuck in. You remember when you first knew me as a teenager, I was stuck on authenticity. I felt like there's a real Joel somewhere inside, and I need to find it. And I was raised by my father, who's in sincerity. So for me, I think sincerity is, this is my role, and I must see myself as that. So I'm a father, I'm a civil engineer.
Yeah.
That is who I am. There is nothing else. And if I mess up there, so like when my dad left his job, a part of him disappeared.
Yeah. When he
It wasn't
retired,
something
yeah?
that he was putting on. It was, he literally said, I now need to
I don't
figure
know
out
what
who
to
I
do,
am.
yeah.
And he came from that. I think the people who I work with are a little bit more conservative. They're like, if you're a banker, that's
You're
who
a
you are.
banker.
You can't
That's
be
your
anything
identity.
further. So LinkedIn is the most they will do on social media. In fact, they think that we all know that that's not a real person. Like I'm excited to have been at this workshop. It's you're fronting your professional side and you're not showing everything else.
Yeah.
And
Humbled
now
to
I have
have
LinkedIn, then I have Twitter, then I have Instagram. So some
Exciting.
people who know me on Instagram know a different
Yeah.
person. Some here know a different person.
Yeah.
But there's this deterritorialization where
Yeah.
those things are now starting to merge. Like the way you're saying there are boundaries,
Yeah.
the fact is social media communication
Yeah.
now breaks boundaries. You'll find businesses are now going, hey, this is Black Summer. They're trying to utilize language on a different platform to reach people. So I think the age, as those interns start to grow, like the people who I am now leading are much younger, for them that split doesn't exist.
You're right.
It is not like
Yeah.
I'm
You're
this,
right.
I'm this, is like I can switch
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
And I think they have a much healthier relationship with social media. So I started trying to investigate it. So there were those things of sincerity, authenticity, and then prophelicity. So I'm going to ask the question here. Do you feel...
Come again, sincerity?
So sincerity, authenticity, and then prophelicity.
I just want to understand prophelicity.
Yeah, let me.
Because the other two I understand. Sincerely, prima. What is the second one?
Authentically me.
Authentically me.
But this is my profile.
Okay.
So the thing about social media-
Yeah, that comes from
Together,
profile.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
from the reading I was doing, this is from a channel called Carefree Wandering, Hans Muller. He's investigating how technology is used to build our identities. So when people started first writing novels, that's when the idea of an individual came about. Because someone could read someone's thoughts and feel what someone they've never been in a position to be has felt. And in Germany, at some point, there was a book called The Trials of Young Goethe, and it caused suicides.
The trials of?
Young Goethe. So
The only trials
he
I
was
know.
reading, and because at the time it was sincerity, it'd be like, you're my child. Where you?
You know trials of brother Gerald.
I know, that's why.
did
The one
you?
I even
Yeah.
have to do it. Yeah, it was about sincerity.
Yeah, the trials of young Gata.
So people started killing themselves. And that was the romantic period. That was the time of saying, do you have genuine love? Are you authentically you? So now,
What was the trials of young Gata about?
it was about a young man who was supposed to take on a certain role in society, was supposed to become like a duke, but he felt he wanted to be a poet. And so he was describing in it, I don't like this, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
And people started saying, I feel that. I
Okay.
didn't know other people felt
Okay.
that, because
Okay.
socially you would never say, I'm not who I am. There was no language for it.
Okay.
So at that point, people started feeling there's something wrong with me if I cannot authentically be myself.
Yeah.
So you'll see, like now everyone says, be authentically you.
Yes.
But his examination is that the pressure to be authentic is itself a double bind. Because if someone says to you, be spontaneous,
You
it's
can
a
never
weird
be.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's like you're now following the command. So society expects us to all be original, like seek your original self. That means society is the one that's telling you to be original. That means everyone is trying to be original. And if you look at marketing, Nike will tell you, wear these shoes to show your personality. Okay. So we utilize different things to try and make ourselves look unique. Teenagers may say, I'm going to be a rebel, that is being me. But you need some image that you're going to take on to make yourself that way.
Okay.
But what he's finding with the younger people now is they try on different personalities. Because you can come online and be like, this is how I want to present myself to the general peer, to everyone else.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've heard about shit posting.
No.
People who just, like kids try things to see where the line is. Like they may say, if I disobey this thing, what will happen? And then parents have to discipline them.
Okay.
So people learn by testing lines.
Okay.
So you're saying, imagine now you're testing lines online. You're 12, you're 14. You're trying on different things. And the point was girls spend more time on like Instagram with like images. And so if you're not mature enough to go, these people are just showing the best of what they have, you start to compare your real life with the image because you think it's real. Whereas boys are, like you said, maybe likely porn or on video games. Their mental health is not as disturbed by it.
as, yeah.
But his idea
But
is
they're
that
the
the
ones who are
reason,
committing suicide.
yeah, but it's saying the reason that's happening is because we, as the authentic people, we're saying, are you being authentically you?
Yeah.
Whereas saying, don't put that pressure on someone living in a world where profiles matter. Let them try these different masks because after all, being a person, the word person means mask. And all you need to do is genuinely pretend. Like when someone does a selfie, I'm like, I am genuinely acting this part of, I am working, I am a banker. Like when you're at the bank, it's not a different Pumla.
Yeah.
It's just you when you've removed certain pieces.
Yeah.
But like now, you will be received in certain spaces where they only know you as the person who talks about financial literacy.
Yeah.
Some places they only know you as Teja's mom. So people consume you and have a part of you, but think they know all of you. And so when you interact with them, for me, the only feeling I would get is I don't know how this person is seeing me right now. Are they seeing me as the work Joel? Are they seeing me as that person? But I think I've completely left that alone. But there are parasocial relationships I have now. People who only know me from this thing. And I think it's a good thing because it keeps me at a distance from them. Just know this side of me. But with you, I'm wondering, it seems like you're genuinely you even when you're online. Is that why social media is weird? Because you can't be online. You're not online. You're like, I can't.
Is that the end of the question?
That's the end of the question.
Why you don't post?
Yeah, is that why you're not posting? Why aren't you boosting things? But I'm
Boosting
curious, as in
what?
you've never felt the pull to, like,
No,
do you
I
like
really
looking
haven't.
at images of yourself?
Yeah. Some.
So like with those few pictures you post, are you
No,
like, I like this,
know
I want
there's
people to see it?
some, they have to be associated to something. So I've also asked myself, that's why I was actually telling you guys on the group, that I used to, so I've had a very interesting relationship with social media for a very long time, right? So I used to be an avid Facebooker. Like when Facebook had come, like I was real, like I used
You'd
to
write the best birthday messages.
Yeah, thank
I've
you.
loved
Like,
you forever.
yeah, sense, always.
Not
As
selfies.
No, not selfies. But I've always been such a Facebooker. But now for me, my fight with social media has always been time. I feel like it consumes more time than it should. And that one I can address differently. But I was a proper Facebooker. Then when Instagram came, then when we started VPN, I said the fight to get onto Facebook in this country is too much. So I moved on. So I don't log into. I think I don't even know when I last posted on Facebook, right? So now I became an Instagrammer. But because Instagram has a lot of selfie, just pictures, right? Because it's a picture and it's a photo sharing and video sharing app.
Yeah.
That thing disturbed me. Facebook is different. If I want to share a picture today, I'll share a picture.
Or
If
I'll
I
write a story,
Or I'll write
or
a
I'll-
story. So it's different. But then Instagram, I must, you know that stuff of putting your
It's
picture.
visual.
You put your hot picture there, then you're like, great is thy faithfulness, oh Lord. Morning by morning, your mercies never cease. I'm
Remain
like,
humble. I mean,
I'm like, dear, what has great is his faithfulness have to do
love
with
yourself
your
because no one else will.
you know it. So it just this, and yet I love Instagram. Like I follow people a lot, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram all the time. But that whole thing of posting myself now.
Is there a particular picture? Like, have you ever posted a picture and then it gets many likes? What does it do for you?
No, the things that I like when they get many likes are things that tell stories. Like I remember there's a time I had started running and like the first time I did 20 kilometers, I posted it. And when people, then that was exciting. Like when I see Pumla's things and she's telling a story, you get like, I like that. I like the fact that there is a message, not that I'm just...
It's just a visual.
It might even be a visual and I feel like I looked cute, but I can just put, I feel like I looked looking cute in these new nails or from I don't know. I should put that and that should be the story.
Okay.
But I shouldn't say great is thy faithfulness, oh Lord.
No, but you see,
Same.
That's interesting. I want to.
Fearfully and wonderfully made.
Is that I'm trying to draw more people closer to God, let's say. And maybe
You're
my
pointing at
authentic
something.
self is sharing in a scripture and maybe breaking it down.
Yeah.
But I know
That this
the
happens
audience on Instagram
come
is
for something
visual.
else.
And they like a kind of visual optics of a phone
It's what they expect. That's why I came
which
here.
has even been filtered. Like me, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
There are pictures that I have posted on Instagram I would have never posted in the world.
Okay.
But I need people to read my caption.
Oh, like the other one.
Can you input Alan? Now that one, the one that
We all know it.
Yeah, you would never
that's
have
the
posted
one.
it.
I would have never posted
But you
it.
wanted the caption to be
But
read.
I wanted
That's a
the
good
caption to be read.
That's a good
Like
point.
even when I'm talking about things like you guys post your people,
Yeah.
show your people. Why are you afraid?
Yeah.
I'm in the content.
say
I'm
it's
literally telling
Pumla.
people, but
Pumla,
guess
who started
what?
posting?
I'm showing my cleavage.
Yeah.
But it's not a cleavage. It's just that I know that the
That will
audience
draw.
likes to see that. It's going to draw them in and it's going to
Me too.
force engagement.
Yeah.
And there's going to be maybe a 60% that's talking about the shit, the cleavage, the hair, the bum,
Yeah.
the what.
Yeah.
But there's that 40%.
The other two.
The other 2-3 that have captured the vision and
Yeah.
I've also seen the
You catch them in the
caption.
net.
Yeah, so I feel like you need to speak. Communication is a two-way street.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
You cannot communicate just in the way that you understand.
Yeah.
Have you ever
You
been
must communicate in the way that other people understand.
point.
So me, honestly,
Starting
that's
today.
how Instagram started for me. I was like you, a Facebook person, just saying, no pictures, just talking. On Facebook, when you post just words, people
Yeah.
engage.
Yeah.
Because that's how it started. It was
They want to
largely
speak,
text,
yeah, just
and you
text.
can write
Instagram,
a whole...
you must post a picture
Yeah.
that draws people
Yeah.
in. So, like for me, I just want to speak to my audience because I need my message to get out.
That's
Have
a
you
good
ever
point.
looked at those old Facebook pictures and how different they are from...
Alan is asking a question.
How far are you willing to go to
I have
be able to-
boundaries.
Of course.
I have
guy, yeah.
boundaries.
Yeah, she's not going to post
I think at some point,
I
actually...
knew that and said, I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
I think in our lifetime, it's going to get there.
Stop it, I've told you.
But also, Joel, there's something you said about the girls. The girls.
At least that's what the data were showing. That
data
girls,
of
when
our-
they're about 12, so you
our age, yes. Of
across
my
the world, they're
son's
saying
age,
that younger age.
those kids live in my house. They come to my house. I see what they're doing. The boys and the girls are the same.
Yeah, so from about that age, they're now
Exactly.
all on social media because
Same
that's how they
what do you
build their
mean?
identities.
On that whole stuff of let's take selfies,
Yeah.
let's do. My son, I have a tripod stand.
Yeah.
My son borrows my tripod stand.
To take proper
Put
pictures.
his things,
Yeah.
and take pictures
You
and
need the
put himself
angle.
and videos and whatever. And then you're starting to ask questions like, why are you doing that? Because for you, you're measuring his actions
By what?
based on a marking guide of a generation
Of your
You're using
that
your
he
paradigm.
does not know.
Yeah.
So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see. That's why I like my son's friends over. I like to take them out. And just to see what are other people doing? And is this something that is perceived as normal in their world? And guess what? It is actually the boys, because they're a little younger emotionally, mentally mature wise.
Yeah.
I see the girls they're hanging out with. They do things a little different. Like they're taking those selfies and what. The boys are doing
A little more sophistication.
they have those what
Yeah,
You must see me as cool.
whatever. They have a different type now. Those
We're out of our depth.
I will show you. We're out of our depth, guys. I wish I could.
Yeah.
I'll get the word.
Yeah.
But they're both behaving in the exact same way.
So it's a
Boys
different
and
generation,
girls. Yeah. Because in our time, even now, it's girls. If I see a guy really doing those stuff,
You're
it's
like
old.
nothing.
The boys now,
Yeah.
all doing the same
Even
shit.
the fashion sense, I think like Gen
All
Z
doing
men
the
in
same
Kampala dress much better than we used to dress because there's like a certain aesthetic you need that's going to look good. Like when I looked at
Everything
pictures
needs to
from
look good.
brunch, I'm like, that's not what they used to look like.
Joe, but for that whole thing of curating yourself, I think that for me, I contrast two things, right? I contrast LinkedIn and WhatsApp status. Maybe because I'm real mature entry WhatsApp status. My WhatsApp status is so raw. You understand? Because I know it's a controlled
Whatever you
community.
feel,
Okay.
you know
It's a
who's
controlled
looking.
community. So on WhatsApp status, and that's why as soon as I get your number, the way you're graded is I block whether you view my
That's the
status
default.
or you understand. Like as soon as
Okay.
if you're a work
Yeah,
person, if you're a work person, blocked. If you're an
I'm checking to see if I can see your
blocked for status, you understand. Like you can't view my status.
Anyway, it's Kawa, you're avoidant.
I don't think you look at status,
I don't look at
So now WhatsApp status is where I am rawest. Like I am so raw.
Because the
I would say,
environment is
because the
controlled.
environment is controlled.
There's
right?
a rawest.
On LinkedIn. Now la baba, no?
That's why you will see her live.
Yes,
see her live.
properly. On LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn is actually my most curated platform.
Because what do you want from LinkedIn? Let's start there. When you go there, what are you going to get? Are you looking for business connections? Are you trying to say maybe someone will see me, I'll be headhunted? Like you need to the people who are looking at you.
LinkedIn, I'm looking for professional relationships and I'm very deliberate about looking for professional relationships. And I actually learned it from someone. I think I attended a thing where they were just like, LinkedIn is really important for your professional life. And they just said, post once a week, right? And choose the topic you'll post about. Yeah, choose one or two things. Now for me, LinkedIn, I chose things to do with my work, right? My sector. So I chose infrastructure and women.
So when people look for it, they find you.
So I'm either posting infrastructure or women. That's it. You understand? You're not going to find me on LinkedIn talking. Once in a while, I'll put a thing, but you're not going to find me on LinkedIn talking about
Hey, guys.
nothing. Never. Like it is. And I've really seen how curating, like almost there's so many opportunities I've gotten because I have.
And the algorithm will also
it
reward
really
those things,
I've gotten so many speaking engagements because of that, following. Like now my community on LinkedIn is either
You're forming a
infra-
brand.
I've formed a brand on that particular. So I think it is the same exact thing if I
Elsewhere.
wanted to do that on Instagram.
Yeah,
It's
every
okay.
place has a brand.
And I'm complex as a person, right? So Pumla is a central banker, but she also likes to talk about financial literacy, but she also likes to talk about motherhood, but she also likes, so she can decide that I will talk about financial literacy on the other radio station where they stand the whole time. Then I will talk about there and where you are standing. I was like, one night.
Which one
I
is
was
that?
like, no, we talked
Which one
about
is that? They
it.
stand the whole time.
Yeah, where we
Yeah.
stand. They stand, by the way.
Yeah,
Do they really?
They work for their cash. They stood the entire. Yeah, she'll talk about.
They're my best people, guys.
Yeah.
Sima, Rudende, and Dida.
Yeah.
And Pumla does a lot of those radio things, but they're always
She
about
does,
financial literacy. So that's her brand there.
I think the place you guys are both not really big on is Twitter, because I feel Twitter has a very
That's
unique
the dustbin.
energy, and I think it's only people who joined at a certain
Don't
point.
engage on dustbins.
Hold on,
Guys.
Twitter. Kawa.
No.
The thing about Twitter is it is very hostile, and it also does that thing of curating. Like at a certain point, if you engage with something, because it boosts, if you argue with someone, you're going to get a lot of that topic that was enraging, because they found that when someone sees something nice, they maybe just click like. But when they see something they hate, they respond.
respond.
So when you respond, and inadvertently, you're now making your feed more and more of that stuff, and it rewards it. So
Are you
Twitter
heavy
is a
on-
very...
You're heavy on X? It's X
He
now,
is.
isn't it?
Yeah, I did some threads that really took off. So I like writing
okay.
short form
Maybe
things.
that's why he abused
But
that
the thing about Twitter, let me tell you, the Twitter thing, you have to act like you don't care. Why? Because if you show some vulnerability, people can dunk on you, because when they dunk on you, their stuff is boosted. It's rewarded. There's certain behavior rewarded. Where on Instagram, if it's nice stuff, it's rewarded. Have you ever been concerned? Like I saw Unpopular Opinion. I don't know if they'll mind me saying this, but they had taken a clip of Claire speaking about like for her child. She's like, no, we use the washing machine.
She doesn't.
But it was
clothes.
decontextualized. You know, they take that clip and then someone framed it as, you look at these young mothers. And the thing I liked about it is she
Privilege
didn't
and what.
feed into it, because she was saying that for me to now come and
She
engage,
made a
it's going to
nice,
become...
she made a nice video about it.
She posted
Like,
something later.
something later about it. Like,
Yeah. So that's the only place I wonder. Have you ever had like something you post is misunderstood to a degree because there's an audience, and then there's backlash and you feel like I need to respond to it? Or for your principle is, I said what I said. If what you think is what you think, I'm not going to engage. Because when I saw the number of followers, right? As much as I maybe ignore it, I know that there is a high chance of being misunderstood. And I had a definition of communication this week that I liked, which is it's not what you say, it's not what you intend, it is the effect.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
I may say my things, but now because the communication lives out there, like today I could go back and someone has clipped something and used it for something else. Do you ever wonder about that image? About, can this thing be contextualized, or you're like, that's none of my business. Whatever they do with it, I know what I meant. Because now there are
What does that mean?
200,000 people.
I'm not
You become a
responsible
meme.
for what I'm responsible for what I say, not what you understand.
That's your
Something
take,
like
right?
that. No.
Okay.
That's not my take. Online, I am. You see, what you see is what you get kind of person.
Yeah.
I give you pieces of myself. So, if you see me online, you're not seeing me. You're
Yeah.
seeing pieces
piece that
of my real life.
In a certain context, in a certain setting.
It's not curated to suit A, B, C, D, E. It is literally pieces of myself. But what I have realized online, if me, I'm authentic, I know for a fact that I give of myself.
Yeah.
I just give. You take, you take.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in be you, the right people will gravitate. But what I have realized is that I am more switched on, I'm more intentional version of myself when I'm on social media.
Interesting.
Oh, say more.
Yeah.
When I'm here and I'm speaking, I'm telling
You're talking to us.
Prima and Joel that, but God lied in this thing.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm
when
not
you're
saying it
online-
on social media.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it in a way
Here.
that is that. But for people, and me, as soon as I say that,
God will never
but
lie.
you guys, for example, I'll say that. So when we go to heaven,
Yeah. Is it that?
are we just
yeah.
going to sing and praise the Lord? And that's all we're doing? I'm not coming. You guys do your shit.
You're like,
I'm not coming.
I understand the
If
devil.
it means that we are going to
Let's
be
do
good,
something else.
It means for me to be good. That is the reward. It's kawa. You
Yeah.
guys do your shit.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that to you.
Yeah.
But when I come to social media, you guys know my context because
Yeah.
you know me. You know who I am.
So we can contextualize what you're saying.
So you contextualize everything I say
But-
automatically.
Yeah.
When I go to social media, there are two things happening. One, they don't know me. Two, because it's public, anybody can get anything I say, even now what I've just said.
Yeah.
Someone can just clip
Yeah.
and share it. But I'm able to be like, you guys, that
to the
video
context.
was longer than that. I said more.
Yeah.
I find myself more intentional about being understood and thus delivering in a way that is more palatable and digestible to people, and yet still passing on my message. So I find myself just more switched on. That is where I am authentic. I'm being authentic,
But I'm
aware
curating. I'm almost,
that the way people are taking what I'm saying, my message, it might not be understood, or it might be misunderstood. So after the fact, when now it has gone, now I don't care because I did my job. I did the work.
Do you ever care about like comments? I think like that stuff like people like I meant to say this. You interpreted this as this.
Let's
Do
say you post
care?
a picture and then people start saying, "You look so beautiful." Like you are giving a message, then for them they are all on how you appear.
but yeah.
It's okay.
You don't mind. You're like, "Oh,
So
this
you
is what
don't
people took
really
away."
dig into the comments and
No.
you don't. No, you do to respond. But are there any comments that have that either get to you or that make you rethink or that?
Or they set a tone that you didn't
Yeah.
appreciate.
No, because I know that I have done the work.
Okay.
And I know that even so when I see that, I'm never like if I see someone says something, there's a way. So for me, I'm all about delivery. If somebody speaks to me, again, because I don't know you. You don't know me, imagine, but I don't know you even more.
We are both strangers.
And we
both
know
don't
you're
know each
even a
other.
worse stranger.
Yeah,
Because I
now
don't
you are
even-
having
I
Because at
don't
least
have
for
your
me,
context
I
at
have
all.
said something. So you know me in that.
I can see the profile
that-
picture. I'm like, look
that
at those.
dot.
Yeah.
And me, I don't even know anything
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
So how can I respond? So to me, people
That's a good
online
one.
are bots.
Yeah.
You assume both.
I assume that
Unless
they're
you
bots.
know them, yeah.
And so how I know that this, if they deliver something, and this is something big about social media, that's why I'm not on X.
Yeah.
Because I have chosen my community. How do I choose my community? Based on values, based on belief systems, based on togetherness, based on how are we living happily and nicely together. If somebody can write in a comment and say, "You're ugly,"
Yeah.
we can't have a conversation.
What? Anyway.
Because I don't know how can you just be
one
there
is too
and yet
coarse,
imagine,
yeah.
imagine in your world,
Yeah.
it might be accepted.
Auntie, that's how men are.
So
That's
I
how
don't know
men
your
vibe
world.
you.
Oh, I can't say something.
ugly.
I'm coming.
What could I say like in expressing myself? I can even just say maybe something like, "You guys, we need to empower women," and then someone responds and says, "Empowered women, that's why you're single."
That's true.
In fact, you just leave it
like,
like,
that's why you're single. That's why you don't have a man.
Yeah.
That's why you're divorced. That's why your man left
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
For somebody to come and write
And then,
that,
yeah.
it means we cannot have a conversation.
can't.
It means that person, I can't feel any kind of way.
That's a good one.
But if someone comes and writes something in a way that is, you're saying, maybe they're saying that, but maybe, can you think about things like something like this? They're not downing you. They're not like,
They're bringing a point of
They're
view.
not
Or
attacking you.
rubbishing, yeah.
They're giving their point of
Yeah.
view. Because there's
Respectful.
so many ways to say that is why you're single.
Yeah.
There are many ways
Without
to say
it being an attack,
without
it
it
being-
an attack, without you attacking my
I
persona,
agree.
my behavior, I'm not having a conversation with you. So for me, that's how I see online people. Like, I don't know who you are, I don't know where you're from, but if you speak to me in a way that I feel you're trying to engage and engage respectfully,
You might also now
we
become
will
a
have a
person.
conversation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're a bot to me.
Yeah.
So I don't feel.
So you get
once I
context
question,
from
I
engagement.
don't
That's
feel
a good one.
anything. When someone comes and says anything, I feel nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Nothing. And for real, to be fair, I have found there are people who come to my DM and say things to me, and even maybe not say it even well. They don't even deliver well. But you can see somebody's not trying to put it out there and like
They're
I feel
delivering,
like they are trying to say something, and I'm aware that not everybody is able to articulate views and
Yeah.
things in respectful ways. Maybe that's not how they were brought up. Maybe that's not
But
how
you
they
can
were raised.
see what they're
But
saying.
someone can take a conversation to the DM
Yeah.
and say, "But Pamela, don't you? Maybe there's this way of
Yeah.
what or whatever. Maybe they don't say it in a good way. But you can see that they're not looking for the clout
Yeah.
of the public.
they want to talk to
want
you.
There's
to
something that they are
engage.
really that they are disagreeing with
Yeah.
your opinion, but maybe they are disagreeing in a way that is a little disrespectful, but it's still not public clout.
Yeah.
They are coming to your DM and saying, by the way, and you see someone coming with rage and you know what.
But you see.
But you can see they're looking, there's an engagement.
Even the fact that it's a DM tells you that I wanted to talk to you
No, but
without the
people are
audience.
about this because I really disagree with you. Me, the things I have seen, my experience is not like that. Me, I've faced this. Me, I've done this. But you can see it's now like, Pamela, the thing you've said me has landed me in shit. Like, I'm not. So for me, I like the fact that I feel like human beings, we have a superpower. You can remove white noise. We have the spirit of discernment. Pray for it.
Yeah.
If you can get the spirit of
Now
discernment
that
to
is
be
the clip
able
that should trend.
to
That's
remove,
To worship harvest.
Pray
Yeah,
for it.
of course.
remove,
Musumba.
yeah, to understand what is criticism and positive
Is
criticism.
it constructive? Is it dismissive?
Or noise?
Yeah, but you
For
said
you to remove what is noise but me, I won't even lie to you. Even constructive criticism, I just see it and I'm like, you know what? It might be constructive criticism for you.
Yeah.
But maybe not for
Yeah, I'm
me.
like,
But me, because me,
you
this
put
is
yourself
who I
in
am.
the
Because
position to
imagine I come to you and
constructively-
I tell you, I'm non-denominational. And then you say, but the Bible says.
Like-
What are you saying?
Yeah. No, but Pamela,
Imagine.
let me tell you. That whole, the public is like a bot to you.
Yeah.
I think that in the same way, there's also some form of responsibility on you as the communicator.
Always.
Yeah, like on you as the one who's engaging. I think, and I like that you're
Always.
neutral, right? You need to be neutral so that you're like, okay, I don't have this person's context, but when the person gives me context, then I should
Yeah.
be able to
Let me
engage.
respond.
Because I remember there's someone there are very
Totally
few, there are
agree.
people that I follow, and there's someone that gave, I think, some opinion. Either they asked one of those Instagram questions and I responded, right? So I went to her DM. I went to her DM and I really gave her my points. She came to me so defensively, right? Like she, you know that thing of where I and for me, I think disagreement is healthy, right? So I disagreed with, I disagreed with what she was saying. But you know those things like, it's like, let's say we're talking about submission, but I guess submission can be anything under the faith. You get like submission can be interpreted so many different ways, you understand? So now it was one of those topics where I'm like, man, the eyes that you're looking at it at, what about if we looked at it and she's like, excuse me, I don't think you should, I don't know what, I don't think you should. And I used to follow her so religiously. But now I felt a certain type of way I felt like that she did not engage with a person. Maybe, but it might also be because she's engaged with so much bad energy.
Or it triggered
that
something.
Maybe it triggered
Yeah.
that she came so ready to fight. You get it? I went ready to engage. Like I went ready.
You wanted to have a discussion.
I wanted to have, but she came ready. She's like, no, don't, no. Do you mean it was so?
But you know, also when we're talking online, like, tone sometimes even on WhatsApp.
Yes,
I
can be
try to write
yeah.
going, I don't know where
That's
you
the
are, I don't know what mood
thing.
you're in.
That's
It's
the
not like
thing.
physically, there's a lot of non-verbal
That's the
communication. I can
thing.
see if you're pulled back, I can hear from the tone of your voice, but this lacks
the
that.
thing.
So that's why
Like,
emojis are now very
even
big.
these big people, I don't respond to. If I see somebody say
accounts.
something on like a big account, I don't respond even if I have a differing opinion, because even that to me is a bot. Because I don't know you.
Yeah.
I don't know your life. I don't know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I believe everybody has a right to be who they are. And we're just coming here to live together. I cannot enforce my belief system on you. So you tell me yours. Me, what I'm doing on social media is trying to listen to diverse people's views.
Yeah.
I'm not coming to fight anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not coming to disagree with people.
I'm just saying
not
here's an
coming to-
opinion.
I'm just hearing other
Yeah.
people's opinions.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's Prima telling me
Yeah.
we are talking.
we are talking
coming,
Because of
we are
your
having a
relationship.
debate.
Yeah.
Because I know her layers.
Yeah.
You know my
Yeah.
layers.
Yeah.
So when I speak, you'll be if I come at you and you tell me something and then I disengage or I stonewall you or I rubbish
There's
your
a
comment,
problem.
then you
There's a
know
problem,
that there's
yeah.
a problem.
Stonewall.
Yeah.
But imagine that a person who you talked to, maybe there was no problem.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just who they are.
Yeah,
But
they are
now you ask,
bad-mannered.
maybe they're just bad-mannered. Maybe they are not bad-mannered, but in their world, then by the way,
Yeah, there's also different
let me tell
cultures,
you,
there are different-
That day I realized that there is a real multiverse in
It's a whole
social
world.
media.
Yeah.
Is when I saw my housekeeper's social media feed.
You were like, Jesus, what is this?
There's things you'll never see.
You guys,
What is
his
thing you'll never
brother had brought for him a smartphone. His brother
Why
brought
you
him a
laughing?
smartphone. My house, I have unlimited Wi-Fi.
yeah.
So I was like, actually, thank you for bringing this thing, because sometimes this guy calls me, tells me that thing which is up on the table, it is leaking. He doesn't know the name. He doesn't know, even me, I'm not understanding.
So show
now
me the
you can
video.
take me a
Yeah,
picture
yeah, yeah.
or a video and send to me. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, great. So I was hooking him up. So he was telling me that he wanted to be on It was Facebook,
Yeah.
actually. It was
So now
Facebook.
you went
He was
to
on Facebook. So we were helping him. He had an account, but on the other phone, he told me, my brother's going to open for me my account. I know my details. I know my password.
Just help me get it.
Help me get into that. So we were there together. And
Yeah.
you guys.
When you saw, you were like honorable members of the
You
caucus.
guys,
What is this one?
The feed. They talk different.
Yeah.
They dress different.
Yeah. It's
a
They
community.
speak different.
Yeah.
The way they engage with each other,
Yeah.
it's a completely different
Different
world.
world. Yeah.
Imagine it is my housekeeper and his folk you're talking to.
Commenting. Yeah.
You cannot, and this is not to say that anybody is lesser or better than anybody
They're
else.
different.
They are just
They're different. We can't have
you
this
cannot
conversation.
You can't have a conversation.
So that's the point
And
I
you
meant in
must
terms
understand.
of when you get big enough, because there's this thing.
When you do what?
You get big enough.
Hey!
Like you guys are, you are
Yes,
a big
you're saying,
account.
no, it's a big
like
get
now
big
us
enough.
together, like I think PPJ, like we are connected. Years from now, someone will find it, and in their mind they're like, oh,
Teja.
Prema, Pumla, Joel,
Yeah.
and this is how you guys interact. So they'll
Yeah.
see us as that group, but it can go into different places. Like the channel went to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And they were talking
Yeah.
about style. They're like, is this how these guys talk? Like there were different things
Yeah.
all together that you wouldn't engage with. Now, I watched something called Inside by Bo Burnham. And he was talking about how celebrities for a long time have always tried to have a differentiation.
Bo Burnham.
Yeah, Bo Burnham. Like, you know how Beyonce goes? I am Beyonce, then there's Sasha Fierce. And the reason she said that is because I needed some shield for when that person is on stage because it's her art. So I'm also being vulnerable when I'm online. I'm sharing a part of myself. I care about it. I'm curating it. So if you attack it, I can't just lie to myself and say, I don't care. It eventually starts to hit them. So that's why there's media training. They're like, you eventually have a split where you go, this is the shield I wear when I go out on stage because I don't know how many people are out there. Yes, people love me. But if I'm to receive the love, the hate is also going to enter. So I've always wondered about, that's why I was asking you, like, because you're sharing something so meaningful to you, and there are all those mixed audiences that are coming. Like when I saw when you were posting, oh, at the holiday, for me, I can't, remember that episode where like, you're posting partners.
Joe, let's stop this conversation.
I can't put partners.
Do you have different persona? Is the
I
person on social media different
No,
from
they're
the person
all
we
me.
get in real life?
They're all me. Like
What?
it's just at different
Give-
levels.
give us
So when I'm on
share.
Insta, when I go to Insta, I was like, this is a place where I'm just going to play like pictures of myself that I like, and I'm going to post different memes. On Twitter, I'm really talking about like my political views.
Okay.
On Facebook, I completely left it. Why? Because I felt Facebook. I like Twitter because of the limit. It forces me to think, how can I shorten this?
Okay.
So because of that, they've developed differently. So people who follow me here will see that. I see the way the things are connected, and I don't feel the need to make it make sense for anyone else.
Okay.
So I think that's a stayover from an authentic age. In authenticity, people go, who's the real you?
Okay.
And I keep saying, anything I do is me.
Is me.
I am
Anything
capable.
I do
Yeah,
is
but that's why
me.
we are able to
So
act
I'm a banker,
as people.
I am a
That's why
mother, I
fiction
am a-
works. You can read a fictional story and feel genuine feelings.
Yeah.
So I think that's what prophilicity is. Like, can I make you feel something genuine?
Okay.
Even if I'm showing you just the best parts of my life, I'm not showing you the sadness. And that's what I've learned from people who are younger than me. And I think as we go
But is
older,
it
it's hard.
always you? For example, let's take a look at the shorts you're wearing, and also the specs you
Joel,
have
I'm
on.
seeing your hip.
I've never seen you
I'm a hip guy.
outside this conversation
Yeah.
dressed like
So,
that.
So he's
So that's what I'm trying
profiling. You
to
feel like he's
understand.
profiling himself by doing that.
So what I'm trying to do,
What?
There's a profiling. Profiling is easy. It's
I
not
feel like
profiling.
for Joel, and then you'll tell me if that's the profiling. I feel like Joel sometimes is a different person. I get a different version of him online that I do get in the real life that he presents to
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
So I'm trying to understand.
you bring different things out.
While they're all you, why don't I get this part of you in real life as well?
I respond
That's
to the
part
environment,
I don't
Amina.
understand.
Fire.
But we're in this
No, remember
environment.
that time when I was speaking, when you said, when I'm in a room, the energy that's there is probably what I will reflect back.
Okay.
So if I'm in a place where images are important, I'll be like, this is an image I'm comfortable putting up.
Okay.
So it helps me feel like, even if you insult that, I was like, I was performing at that point. Yes, it's me, but I don't think the whole world, I don't even know the full extent of who I am. So I'm expressing different things. If you go through my Insta, you'll find there's times when I had dreads, then there were times when I was showing tattoos, then there were times when I'm in a suit. And I feel like life should allow me to try on different things and see how they feel.
Although I
Other
also
people are
feel
trying to
that-
say there's a consistent, like, the saying that you
think there's
hated,
consistency and authenticity.
Consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds. I don't like the way it is phrased,
wow.
but
Say
it
it
was
again, say it again.
consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds.
Minds.
Their point
Okay.
was, in life you change.
Okay.
So there was a
Yeah.
paradox at the heart of what we're doing. When it said, be the real you. The question is the real you somewhere as a seed?
Okay.
Like when you look at a seed and you look at a plant, they are the same thing, but they change depending on the environment they're in, how they are watered. So my engagement with you is changing me.
Yes.
So even when I'm there, it changes me. I say, oh, I like this. Let me focus on it. And that's why even with this show, I like that it's not consistent. Sometimes we're here, sometimes we're elsewhere. Because when I look at the algorithm, it is trying to make everything, they say content creator because it's important. For them, they just want to feel the content. It doesn't matter what it is, but make it consistent because that's how they can measure. I'm playing around with it because I feel that in those spaces is where you find things that are interesting.
No, but I think you guys are saying the same thing. It's because the different facets of Joel are so different. You know what I mean?
They almost seem they can't be in the
They
same
seem
person.
like it can't be the same person. Like, he's a CEO, but then he's also wearing these shorts.
Yeah.
Then he's also going to do the other dance outside. Then he's going to come and tell us philosophy.
Yeah, he's our dance earring.
Yeah, he's going to.
You guys, we did social
Is it
media
part of
dances.
PPJ?
Woo!
I
Yes,
know,
it is.
right?
Now you see, for example,
Yeah.
that is
Would
not
have-
me.
It's not
and
you.
It's not you.
It can be, but
You guys, you're the one who said you don't want to do it.
for some reason.
Okay, can I ask you, did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it? Let me ask honestly, did you enjoy it?
I would have enjoyed it if we were doing this
did.
without
I
it
did it
being
for the
curated.
team.
Yeah, so that's why I meant that.
Me, I didn't enjoy it at all.
I like the curation. By the way, you had the most fun.
I didn't do it at all.
No, so
because me, when I
no,
come, I come. Like,
So Pumla, so my point.
yeah, when
Make it
I
a shot.
come,
Make it a shot.
I come.
That is authenticity, profilicity,
Sincerity,
and
all together.
Sincerely, Pumla.
Why? Let me tell you why.
No, but I'm telling you, Joel is so many contrasting, like highly contrasting things in one person. Pumla, you have different personalities, but I see the thread.
The through line.
Yeah.
I see the thread in who you are. You understand? Like I see
Because
the
I found
thread.
comfort
Yes,
in a persona.
Yes.
I understand, by the way, what Joel says. Like,
Yeah.
and what you're saying, that
Yeah.
we all have like different facets of our lives, but I felt that I have also had different facets, but I've found myself more aligned and more comfortable and peaceful
In this
With a
one.
certain-
with a certain persona.
Yeah.
And that's where I find peace.
Yeah.
So I've kept to that. So I find that, and Joel was saying this earlier, that the kids of today, they can be so many different persona. But I find that that's acceptable at a certain point of their lives, because they are testing.
Yeah.
They are trying to see who am I. They have not yet really.
We did it, but we
they've
didn't have
not
a
yet
public.
really-
You know, like when you were a teenager, you
I
went
feel
through
like we
phases,
did
but
it.
we didn't have a public.
We did
didn't have an
You're
audience.
Right. You're right. We did it, but we didn't have an audience.
Yeah.
So for them, they have an audience, so they are allowed to test their different personas. So I feel like when you get to 40, and this is again me just
Why the reminder?
conditioning, it's institutionalization, I guess. But I feel because for me, I have found the person I want to be, and I may not be the same person at 50. But right now, I feel like
You're good, you're
I'm
happy.
comfortable, I'm fine. Yeah. So I just kind of, and maybe this is setting people up for failure, because it's that thing of perceived success that by 40, you must know who you are. Yet now, people are, even maybe some people are just trying to discover themselves. But because you put a cap on an age, that by this age, you must have done this, you must have done that, then people are like, oh my God. So for me, again, and I'm really sorry, I find that, like at 40, you must know, like this is what I
don't
like,
feel
and
that
this is
way at
what
all.
I think you see, like people are
in
asking.
this age, because at 50 you can change, at 60 you can change. At
You know
70.
why I don't feel that way? Because my mom is 65. Mommy, I'm sorry if I don't know that age properly.
She's
But it is in
clarifying,
those ones.
please.
It's in those ones of 65.
yeah.
She's 65 and she's doing a course. She's doing a course.
She's starting afresh on
yeah,
something.
for something, right?
Yeah.
So I think for me that has been so profound in terms of.
She's doing 5 different courses.
No. She's doing a course that's going to enable her to do a certain kind of work.
That's what I mean.
At 65,
Like,
65
there's
people are
certain
retired.
focus.
Yeah.
Not even at 80 you can do a course.
Yeah.
Even at 80 you can start a new skill.
Yeah.
You can learn a new language.
Yeah.
One. That I understand.
Okay.
What my issue is at 50, 60, 70, you're trying 7 different things.
But do you know that we're
I'm
different?
those things change. I think you're saying similar things. You're
but
only
Pumla,
saying
we're
that you
different.
know the
why
core.
that thing, we're different. Because I've realized that there are some people who are like this. And I think, Pumla, because of who you are and the
Yeah,
fact that
so
you're even
structured.
structured,
You're comfortable,
you're like
you're-
this. Now, our friends, the creatives.
Please
Today he's a
You
producer.
just want to-
Tomorrow he's singing.
You just want me to
The other day he's
Yeah, but I get what you're
painting.
saying. I get what
So
you're
we are
saying.
just
Yeah.
made differently. So there's some people who are trying 7 different things, and that's okay, and that's who they are.
I get
And
that.
for you,
I get that. I
You know,
get that.
okay.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
To close off the episode, there's a saying I want to ask you a question, which is that society progresses by patricide. It's a dark saying,
Joe,
but it's
please don't shame us in front of people. Don't shame us in front of
Patricide.
People already think we are clean.
I know by
no, it's meant
patricide.
that at a certain point,
Even when I was on pesticide 100%, I'm like, nothing can ever progress by pesticide.
it can. There is a DDT. It finished things. No, I think it's a Native American saying that if people lived for hundreds of years, the world
really
would
far
be.
from me today.
I'm here, dear.
Yes, so
I'm
I
here,
don't know.
dear.
What's the
I know you
problem?
guys. There's a
We're
ship
repelling.
here. The
I'm
way
here, we can never repel each other.
Usually, I thought by the time we finish, people are going to be
I
closer.
know.
Me, I've inched closer.
Do you know what the problem
You're not
was?
in
Can you play some
Society
romantic music
progresses
at
by
this point?
patricide. I'm dying
Yeah, put a
from
cafe in
the
there.
statements
Okay,
there.
go on.
Anyway, bad touches. There's a Native American saying, I think that is, if people lived for hundreds of years, the world would drown in the tears that they would cry. And I think I've said this before, like my dad keeps saying, I was born in a protectorate. Now people are telling me about blockchain. Like the longer he lives, the world changes around him and he's feeling that there's some part of him that's also changing. But like you were saying, he's now at an age where people expect you not to change. But he's like, what am I going to do? I want to change. But he's also resistant because his social circles are like, no, this is how you ought to be. There is ought to be, and yet there is the chance that you feel that you can change. So I guess the point I was going to raise for you, how do you feel?
Patricide.
This is the thing, like how do you feel now that there was a point when you were not posting like your people on Instagram?
I didn't have them. Go on, okay.
Yeah,
go
that,
on.
and then I see that you're engaging a bit more. Like you did the thing with your sister. Like
I like
even
your
the thing
reels,
about
Pumla.
the reels are
I
growing.
like
Like you
them.
seem to be like getting into it. So I'm just wondering what's the biggest thing that has changed since you joined Insta? You are really on Facebook, but you switched over to Instagram, and YouTube, and this is where like the audiences are starting to engage with you. Do you?
Joe, sorry,
how do
does
you
the
feel?
saying end there? That society progresses by patricide?
So the point of that is the resistance to change as you grow older. At a certain point, people have to die out and their ideas die, and that's when new things become normal. Like millennials are now managers, so the things we accept are different from the people above us. Like me as a manager, I manage things differently. So when people say that's not normal, normal always shifts. But if you have a cross-generational discussion, you may be using the same words, but you mean different things. Like when Sevo says his stuff about, hey, we don't entertain homosexuals. What I'm hearing him saying is he's never said that I hate them. He's just saying, don't do it publicly.
Okay.
Well,
the way
as
he
for us to say, we
articulates
must
it.
live ourselves, we must live our true lives. It's two cultures that are clashing.
Got it.
And I think that the reason people say, oh, these guys are winning is because the younger you are, like the thing about Palestine now is almost all younger people are saying this is a genocide. Older people who had been taught, remember like in church, we were taught Israel is the holy nation. Like we can't shake it. And now that generation is getting older, and eventually that idea will die. And then we will tell the story of this period, and then we'll shape it. We'll say it was an evil thing.
Yeah.
How could people in that time think that? Just how people who believed slavery was fine, though, like it's power, but they died out.
So
So I also
imagine
feel like
if you had just said society progresses by accepting change. Now, yeah, society
Actually, I'm a
progresses by
philosopher, please.
patricide. You know, it means we even went to Palestine, but I'm
Why?
understood.
yeah. So my thing is, how has social media changed you? Because you guys are now celebrities. You have to engage with people. Like you said, you had a meaningful conversation through the discussion you had. You are having DMs. So that's my last point. How do you feel like this engagement, this PPJ thing, or any other social media engagement has changed you? What have you learned about yourself?
I find that social media has actually fast-tracked me on my self-actualization journey.
I love that. I love that.
It has made
Maslow's
me
hierarchy.
know what my purpose is
Yeah.
in this moment. I don't want to ever say that everybody should know their purpose. My purpose might change at 60 and I have to learn and do a course. Completely
Don't put
different
a full
course,
stop
or
where I
learn
don't put a
skill.
comma.
Yeah. But I feel like what social media has done for me between the age of 35 and now I'm 39 has shown me. Yeah. And I feel like this is my purpose for at least the next 5 years.
It was very important. But
Okay.
I think 5. Well, because
A lot can change in 10
And
years.
it's-
I love
Yeah.
that even in 3 years.
Yeah,
or
but
2
what
years.
you see
But
is
from
the
what I
5
see,
yeah.
I have that notion of Sevo also of, we've started, but give us some more time
Steady
to
progress,
finish.
yeah.
Give us some more time to finish.
Give us
our agenda has not yet.
Let's finish the good work we began.
Let's finish the good work
Yeah,
we began.
yeah.
So for me, my mind looks at 5 years. Like I knew let me tell you guys, I knew from a young age that I was meant for greatness. I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know what greatness looked like.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to articulate it. I'm saying it now, but
Yeah.
when I was 10 years old, it was not greatness.
Yeah.
It was, there must be something bigger than this,
yeah.
more of me that I can give, that can make me feel.
And social media has accelerated.
Social media has literally accelerated, because what I used to do before was I'll just speak amongst small groups, and guess what? My friends would get bored.
Yeah.
The people who knew me were like,
They already
tired
knew
of
the
hearing
things
about
they-
me.
We've heard those
Yeah,
stories,
they were
eh?
hearing about me.
Yeah.
They were not like me, because guess what? You choose your community that's usually a little different
Yeah.
than you. So maybe sometimes they don't even understand what you're saying. They're like, "Hey, Pumla, that's enough." I felt social media has just opened up a world of, can we journey together, and accepting that you're not an expert. I just need somebody to hear somebody has gone through that, and I can too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, that's what social media has done for me. It's just, and that's my self-actualization in this moment of my purpose is to be able to empower people with tools to just live better lives, to make better choices for themselves. So if
love
I can
it.
speak to, the more people I can speak to,
The better.
Purpose-driven life.
Yeah.
I love it. I
So
love it.
that's
Yeah.
really,
They've given you booze.
thank you. They've
I love
added me
it.
a
I love it.
And,
Let me see.
Prima?
So for me, what's social media? Anyway, so
You're
no,
the
I
rebel.
really no. I really feel like I'm just starting. I want to do a bit more.
I still think you should do your podcast.
I want to do a bit more.
Oh, do you want
Yeah,
your podcast?
I think you
do.
should.
I beg your pardon.
I do. I don't. I do. I want to
Go
do,
to
I don't
her
know if
social
it's-
media and tell her,
yeah.
please, we're waiting for the
Wait.
podcast.
Yeah, I know. I want to do a career-focused thing. It might not be a podcast. It might be,
You'd
but
be great, you know.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
just shocked that you would.
Yeah, that's what I want. I really want to do it. I really want to do it. So maybe I'm putting it out there in the world that one day I'll do it.
Oh, how amazing that
Yeah,
would be.
yeah. Because I'm always
Because every time you speak, man,
I have
there's
You
land
always
points,
that
man.
those days, people always tell me, "Hey, Pumla, that point you said, now by my DMs, but I get prima."
I've
These are things she
heard.
said,
Our
you
pastor.
know,
Hey.
like.
So I want to do some. So I feel like I should do
And
more.
it resonates with people.
Yeah.
see
I
it.
want to do more. So I think that I agree with you that social media gives it really gives a platform. You see what I mean? Like it's such, man, when you see the businesses people are running, actually there's that thing you had asked about parasocial relationships.
Yeah.
And about whether you feel they're
Even
people.
you've entered, but you've not explained parasocial.
No, right. The question is, do I
Put the
understand
definition
it?
here.
I might say that I understood it. Then it's like actually not.
When you're in the perimeter and you're social.
No, but
That thing that is not about parasocial.
yes, that's
Uh-huh.
that she said about. I realized that there are certain people that I connect with, and they are very similar, right? So there are even influencers. There are people that I connect with, and there's something. There's
common trait?
There's a common trait amongst these, and it's not just that they're authentic. They're even certain, I can follow certain people and it's because they give plugs, but there is something about those plugs that I like. There are certain things they talk about, topics that I like. You understand, there is a trait. Now I know that there is a group of people where the things that I am interested in could help us to journey together, but I'm not doing much about it. You understand what I mean? Like I'm not doing much about it. So I wish I could do more.
You
I
feel
love-
a pull, but it's not yet.
I feel a pull, but I'm still there.
I feel like when
Yeah.
it's time, it will just.
Yeah. So that's how I feel. Do I feel like I don't know anything from like, hey, when guys have this thing of, hey, we've seen you on PPJ, whatever. I'm like, oh, that's nice, and that's it. But I just feel like this has opened my eyes more to the fact that thing that I want to do, it can actually work. Yeah. So that's what
We are the
social media is.
foundation.
All right.
But don't run away from us.
We
Can
are
never
women, by the way,
be.
you know, that's how
But
people
also,
start.
have you responded to people about your hair? I feel like you don't respond.
Yeah, people keep
that.
asking about.
I do.
I
I have people who ask that I do.
No, but
That-
you do. You return the comments. Yeah,
I
you do.
return.
You do.
I
Yeah,
return.
you do.
Yeah. They are
It's me
sisters.
who's bad at
So maybe you
comments.
talk now.
No.
Say also here.
These are micro locks that I did at Uzuri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
so they are
have
micro
something
locks
else
that are
want to-
becoming sister locks. Yeah.
Okay. People ask a lot about your hair.
Yeah, so micro locks.
Micro locks.
Alan?
At Uzuri.
Uzuri, natural hair.
Is there a
salon.
particular person who does them? Like when people ask me, there's only one person.
Yeah.
Who does
No.
the
I
hair.
used to have a particular babe, but then now I think every time I've gone to another babe, they are all, it's the same styles.
same,
Yeah.
okay.
So Uzuri.
Okay.
Yeah.
They build capacity.
All right.
So Joel, tell us.
What
tell
has
us.
it done?
I want
for you?
Alan, then I'll do
Especially
my
from your wonder
close.
theory thing.
Alan, how do you feel PPJ has become, and what the theory? How do you feel about your part in it? Because you're like the cool guy on the side.
The mustache.
But, I mean, I'm cool, but like no one knows it's me. Because my face has not like appeared. What I can comment on is social media in general. I'm like Joe, whereby you can see like 10 different
As for this guy is
Yeah.
people, right?
Creative.
But then I realized that confused people a lot. Then I just stopped posting.
he ran away.
Like I could do a joke,
Okay.
and then like 10 people will be like, we know, this is who we know, it's funny. Then those who know me as a serious person will be
They're
like,
like as in.
"What's
Very
going on?
inappropriate.
Bichi, we know. What's this? Or what are you trying to do?
then
So you just
So also when I talk serious, the funny people will be like, hey, what's this? Then if I post about my work, to some it seems like I'm bragging, to some it seems like what this. So I just reached a point where I was confused, not knowing what people know or think about me.
Yeah.
Then I just stopped posting entirely. Yeah, I posted about my kids for a while and I realized that it was just a bit much and I just stopped. Like,
But I think
So
you
you
should
ju-
think about like what Pumla said. I really liked Pumla's point about like what's the end goal? Like what's the end goal of your communication? She didn't say it in those words, but that's what she meant.
A real advocate.
Problem with this communication. Because now I want him to understand what I'm saying, and yet I've taken so much.
I think you understood what he
this,
meant.
this different persona. I've just like this is the first time I've really understood it, and I'm embracing it.
Charlene.
That you can just be different people, and if people ask you, but that one, get confused, then you do the other thing. It's a collabo. You know what's coming, right? Collabo. When they
Right,
ask
and
you,
beans.
is it
Yeah.
what
You want chicken
people? It's a collabo. So I feel like you can just be who you want to be.
no, I
But
I
Pumla,
get
my
that,
point
but
is he
like,
can be what he wants.
yeah.
But those different parts of him are important for a certain group of people to know.
They resonate
So
with some
instead
people.
of him hiding and saying, oh my God, anti-posting too much about, that's one thing, instead of saying anti-posting too much about children, there are men out there who can't believe that they're hands-on fathers that can post about their children. So let those men connect with that. Instead of feeling like I'm a poser, let me say that
This is possible.
that
There's
I'm,
this.
I'm producing this, but imagine, do you know where I started from? And there is a group that you get. So instead of thinking I'm posing, you're showing possibility. So let those people who need to see that possibility identify with you.
Some people need it.
I
Yeah.
get that, but like we're from the old age and like to bring
As if you're 70.
to bring full circle of what, like, you know, we were offline people. Then social media came, right?
social
And now kids now, like, you're being monitored on social media, so they're going offline. They're kind of like going back to what we're doing before. I feel I have a bigger audience I can talk to outside social media.
No way, you're not going to find
no-
50k people.
No, but the thing is, I'm never going to reach 50k people.
No, but on social media you will.
You're talking to
You're such a cool
thousands of
guy,
people.
Alan. You will reach so many. You don't know your
His face
potential,
is all the
darling.
time.
Alan doesn't know what to do with himself. Alan, when was
He
the
didn't-
last
he
time?
didn't want to move his
Alan,
hands.
there's-
Friends, I think we are done. This is like when a big account quotes you. Hey, where are all these followers? Wanang.
But have you told us what? social
Let me
media
tell
is
you
doing
mine.
for
I
you?
am really happy that this thing has taken off. Only because I
really
think we're
like
comfortable
PPJ,
being
I think.
ourselves, and it has resonated. I remember Uncle Sam said that one time in church. Say, you might think it's your gift, but there will be signs. It has to resonate with people. Like, I'm a gifted singer, you sing, and other people are like, like, please listen
signs.
to what's coming through from other people. So, like you, I think there's a responsibility here, but it's not a heavy one. It's
Yeah.
one that I enjoy, and I couldn't have done it with any
love
better
it.
people. So thank you so much. I really loved it, as well as with you. Thank you for talking to our images. Our images love you, and when you see us at work, please behave. Thank you so much. Any words from you?
No.
Come
Nice.
to church.
No. Nice to talk to you guys.
And to wrap this up, we are
PPJ.